So to make this top here, all we're gonna need is the paper pattern for it that I sell on my website. You can find on the description below. I'll put it there for all the sizes, small, medium and large. And basically just a half leg of fennel jeans, that's what you need. And with this you can make both sides of your bikini top. And as well, I'm gonna make at the end of this video the bikini bottom, and I'm gonna add the pattern as well inside that same pattern on my website, so you can cut the sizes you want. But basically that, if you're making this with leather, and you can use leather as well, or fox leather or any type of material, and you want to punch the holes first with this tool here, it makes life easier, because then you can punch holes in the fabric, and then you can use a bigger hook, because the hook I'm using, as you can see here, 0.595 millimeters, and it does the same job of this tool here, which is a leather punch holder. Okay, and then after that I'm gonna be using the 2.1 millimeters hook to do all the work around the top, and also a tapestry needle to do this part here. Okay, I'll be using cotton threads, a 4-ply thread, and that's basically all you need. Needle and thread as well, okay? Because you're gonna fold the material and make a little fold around so it doesn't, so the fabric doesn't open. And then you're gonna crochet on top and remove this thread after. So let's get started with this project, and you can use any type of material you have. Just be aware that if it's not as thick as jeans, you might as well put a lining underneath it, so because you can't really work and punching holes in a thin material, because it doesn't look, it won't look good at the end. So if you're using thinner material like lycra or whatever, you have to add a lining, so it has to be 2 layers, okay? So let's get started with this one. So after you stitch it all up, that's how it's like. Get the tapestry needle with the same yarn you're gonna work after that to finish the top. Or if you want to change to another color, it's up to you. So we're going to put this right on the beginning here, right through here. And then we're gonna cross. Cross here. If you wanna place some, then here like this. So finished making all the stitches in the middle here. You can just finish and cut the yarn on the back, and then we are going to start on the left corner looking this way with our small hook, 0.95 millimeters hook, okay, because we need to punch holes through the fabric, so we need this hook to be very fine so it can punch this hole easy. And once you put the hook through, make sure you put through a lot of it, because then you open a bigger hole, and that makes your life easier when working with fabric. So here on the other side we're gonna make our slip knot. You have to getting used to use this little hook because it's very fine. But with the crochet thread actually works really good. So what I did was, so I made a slip knot. I made a slip knot on the back. I passed the hook, put the hook through the fabric and inside the slip knot that I made there, and I pulled it to the other side. Okay, now here I'm going to make my first single crochet, and then I'm going to chain 1, chain 2. After my 2 chains, make sure this knot doesn't come up to the front here. After these 2 chains, we're going to put the hook through that same stitch here, and we are going to single crochet another one. So in these single crochets, as you can see, they have to be as long as this is long, okay? Because we're gonna be punching the holes through exactly in that spot where it's only one layer of fabric, as you can see here. And then yarn over and pull it. Okay, so there was no chains in between these 2 stitches, and only 2 chains in between the 2 single crochets that go in that same hole. So now we're going to make another one here. Put the hook through inside a bit more if you need, pull it and make your single crochet. And then straight to the next one, no loop here, just a single crochet. So what I do, I put always my hook in the same angle like that, and so I know where, like the distance in between all the stitches, and here always right underneath where the layer of fabric finish ends. And then 2 chains in between, and 1 more single crochet in that same single crochet. So we will be repeating this. I keep trying to make double crochet. Just repeat this all around the piece, making 2 of these single crochets in every one of the corners. Okay, so this is how it's like now. When I get to the top here, I'll be making 1 single crochet here and 1 here. So here made 1 stitch smaller than the normal ones before, and then I made 2 chains, and then I'm going to make 1 right here on top of this one. I'll be making another one here, a bit shorter as well. Just make sure it looks alright. I'm going to chain 3, and then I'm going to make this next stitch here. And then from here straight to the next one. Here, same as we did on the other side, and then 2 chains in between, and the next one in that same hole. And there you go, all the way to the end here. Repeat on the corner, and then when we get here, we're gonna finish it off with another row around the entire piece. Now from here, from this last stitch that I made in the corner there, And don't worry, we're gonna remove these threads after. You can just cut them off after you finish. We are going to make 1, 2, 3, chain 3, and then we are going to skip one here and double crochet in this next stitch here, chain 1, skip 1, 2, double crochet right in the middle here, and again skip 1, 2 in the middle of the next one, so here, so you can see, I made 3 stitches in these middle chains here right on the top. I made 3, 1 double crochet, 1 chain, 1 double crochet, 1 chain, and another double crochet, so 3 double crochets there, and then chain 1 and skip 1, 2, this third one here, and repeat all the way down. To finish here in this other corner, all you do is 1 chain, chain 1, and in that second chain from the beginning we are going to double crochet there. Okay, and then from here we are ready to start our picot stitch at the end. I'm going to just make a normal picot every few stitches. So start here with single crochet in this stitch you just made, single crochet here, and single crochet one more, and single crochet in that same one, single crochet here, and then single crochet right on top of this first double crochet, and then chain 2, single crochet right here in that same single crochet, and then skip 1 here, single crochet in that second double crochet there. Then we're gonna single crochet again, single crochet in that next double crochet, and then picot again. Chain 2, single crochet, skip 1 here, single crochet, single crochet, single crochet, and picot. I'm gonna make picot all around the entire piece. If you want to make picot here as well, I'll be doing just a single crochets here because we are going to make the ties after, and so it's up to you. You can make it as well. So single crochet here to the top, and I'm right in this middle stitch here from the 3 of the top, and from here I made a single crochet right on top of it. I'm going to chain 100 chains, or as many chains as you need to go around your neck and be able to tie it on the top on your neck. So just make as many as you want, and you can come back making that same picot stitch in these chains here, so we have a little edging on the necktie as well. I made 120 for me because I wanted a bit longer, and now from here I'm going to skip 1, 2 chains, skip 2, and on the third one from the hook we are going to make our first single crochet, and then 1 more here, and then chain 2, single crochet in the single crochet from before, and skip 1 here. So now 1, 2, 3, then again picot stitch, the exact same stitch we are using around the skip 1 here, next one, the same exact stitch we are making around the entire top, so I thought they would look good with the same one. So here they are. As you can see, I only made a single crochet row to finish it off here, and that's how it looks like now with the neckties. So to make the other tie, I'm going to work with double yarn, and I'll be making around 150 to 180 chains. Guys, that's how our top looks like at the end. It took me around 1 hour, 1 hour and a half to make and cut and everything, so it's a very easy project for you to make just before you go to the beach, and you have a very unique and beautiful piece to wear. So if you like this video, leave me a comment, give me your like, and I'll keep making videos for you every week about swimwear. So after we cut our pattern for the bottom, we are going to do exactly what we did on the top. We're going to start folding in one of the corners, and don't worry about this because we're gonna cut this later when we finish here. Just like around half a centimeter, as you can see, and fold as you go. If you want to put some pins, if that makes your life easier, just do that. But you can do it like this after you get some experience on doing that. It's much faster. Okay, so all around. And remember to fold the corners, so the corners will be folded like this. So let me know in the comments below which fabric you're trying to use, if you ever worked with fabric. I would like to know that, because for me really it's a technique that I love. You can make really unique pieces and it takes much less time than making a full piece of crochet. You can make skirts. I actually made a skirt and I want to show you later. I made a skirt out of another pair of pants, and I can show you that later because it's really cool actually. And I also use neoprene sometimes when I like to make gadgets and things for my computer. I made a computer cover. So yeah, it's a lot of things that can be done with crochet and fabric quite easily once you're getting used to using the small hooks. Getting here, just before this first corner here, I'm going to cut that top there, and then I'm going to fold this way. So you have to make sure you're gonna have the same amount of, fold the same amount of on both sides. And here what I'm going to do is make this stitch here, right here. And then we can cut this off as well. Cut this just like that, so it's exactly the same size. And then I'm going to stitch right on top of it so it holds, because the corners, sometimes the crochet doesn't hold the corners. And so you have to make sure you make a few stitches very small so it doesn't show on the final piece. And make a knot, little knot in the last one, like this, so it stays. And then you can keep going. Let's make a stitch here closer. And then just, you know, keep going, because what's gonna happen is we're gonna remove all these stitches here, but these ones are gonna stay just to hold the corners. the corners, they seem to open even after making crochet on top of it. And so to repeat this all around it, and then I'll come back with the crochet part, stitching all around it. As you can see, the corners are I stitched a few times here on the corners with knots in every single corner so they don't open later. Okay, so we are going to start in one of our corners with the small hook. And we're going to repeat the same work we did on the top here. So make your slip knot there on the back, put the hook through, make the slip knot and pull it. Make sure that slip knot stays on the back, and then single crochet in this first corner. See, it's coming out, so pull that slip stitch, leave it behind the work. And now we're going to chain 2 and put the hook through that same hole again. Pull it, single crochet. And then this is the way you do it, like just always in that same angle, so you know. And then here, right after the second layer. Again, if it's hard to pull the yarn back, just go a bit further with your hook and make a bigger hole. And I didn't say anything before, but it has to be a metallic hook. Okay, it has to be metal, can't be plastic or bamboo or anything like that, just because the tip of your hook, it won't be sharp enough. You need it to be sharp, so you need your hook to be this brand, Tulip Japan, or any other brand that's similar to this. Okay, it's a hook that's not made of aluminum as well, it's a metal hook. That's very important that this one is made of metal, but this one, it doesn't really matter because you're not gonna be punching holes with it. So this one you can use just a normal hook, whatever hook you have there. Okay, and so repeat this all around, making the corners with 2 stitches as well, okay? And then I'll come back and we only have 2 more rows to make and finish. And we're also gonna add the elastic in a different way than we did before, than I always do. Okay, I'll be using, just to show you a different technique, I'm going to be using elastic, jewelry elastic this time. So stick around to the end of this video because it's a very useful technique for many types of garments and not only swimwear. You can use for off-shoulder tops or many other clothing pieces. Even socks, I'll probably think you can use that on socks and leg warmers and everything else like that. And this is the back. So you see that the jeans don't open because the stitches are right on top of it. So I ended up having to make here in every corner, I made 3 stitches. So 1 stitch with 2 chains, 1 stitch, 2 chains, okay? And then now, so when I finished this corner, I made sure that I was right on the corner here, because we're going to work 70 chains, around 70 chains, or depending. Just make sure when you make these chains that the sides long enough to make through your hip, so you can probably you can finish the 70 chains, join with a slip stitch on this side and try it on in one leg just to see if 70 is enough. Okay, normally I make around 70 from 60 to 80 chains. So from the end here, from the last corner you made, we are going to chain 70. Okay, here chain 70, and then for me, just by looking at it, I know it's enough. Okay, just because I have experience. But if you don't, what you're gonna do now is make sure this is not twisted. Okay, and then we are going to right in that corner stitch from the back, because we want to end up there. We're going to slip stitch right here. Okay, so right now we can try it on if you want. And then what we are going to do from here, we are going to make the other side as well. I'll leave this unfinished and like that here, so I can finish working this leg here, just because I want to work the waist first. So what we're going to do here, with another piece of yarn, we're going to make a slip knot to start going the other way. And then here, right in that stitch there, we're going to put the hook through, make a slip stitch here, and then chain 70 as well. So chain 70 and then slip stitch in this other corner, and then we're gonna work the waist, a few rows on the waist, and then we're gonna add the elastic on both sides. Slip stitch here in this other corner, and then we're going to make 3 chains, and we're gonna repeat that same stitch we made on the top. Is double crochet, chain, double crochet, skip. So we're gonna be skipping 1, 2 in that third one there, double crochet. So repeat that all around the waist, okay? And as well here, just to correct here on the sides, we are going to skip only 1, okay? Otherwise it won't be enough stitches. And then after that we are going to add elastic to both sides of the legs as well, and the waist. So finish this first row here, and then I cut a piece of elastic this size. So I'm gonna add the elastic here just because it's easier on the waist, and then the other side I'm gonna make the other way, just to show you guys. So elastic much smaller than the total size, so it stays on the body. Okay. Always the ends on the back part of it, since we don't know which the back is because they're very similar. Just place it here, and then place this elastic underneath your work, just like that. Just underneath this row, and we are going to put the hook underneath that stitches and underneath the elastic as well, around it, and then just pull it and make our single crochet. So inside the stitch, under the elastic, yarn over, pull. Inside the stitch, underneath the yarn over, pull. So this is how it's going to look like. And because it stretches, you won't really show at the end. And here, if you think this is not covering enough and you like you would like the elastic to be covered a little more, you can make 2 stitches in the middle and 1 here. Okay, you can make as many stitches as you need to actually cover this elastic. Just so you know, because you won't make a difference at the end, because the elastic is the one that's gonna hold, not the stitches. So work this all around it. And so when you get to the sides, you're gonna pull the elastic, okay? While you do that. Not on the front, not on the back, just on the sides, because the sides will be stretched, not the entire, not the front part or the back part, because you won't look good if you stretch the elastic on those parts. So I'll be showing you in a second. Okay, now you're here on the side. We're gonna keep making the same number of stitches, 1 in each stitch. But after you made a little bit of the side, around 20 to 30 stitches, okay, or just 1/3 of the way of your side, what we are going to do, and if you saw my videos from before, I always do that, so you're gonna pull this guy here. So the side is stretchy, but this is just like it is. Okay, you don't want this to be like, to look like that when you sell to a client. So that's why we only pull the elastic on the side, not around the front or the back. Okay, so make sure you pull a lot, because this elastic is a lot smaller, but it's we are making this way so it actually holds on your body. And here, if you think it's not enough, you can cut another elastic and make 2 rows of it if you think it's not secure enough. You know, options with crochet are endless. As you know, you can crochet anywhere, you can start from nowhere, from everywhere. And that's why I actually prefer crochet than knitting, because knitting is much more limited in a lot of situations. So I finished here with that picot stitch, the same one we made on the top part of it. And now I'm going to show you how to work with this elastic. So this jewelry elastic, you use that to make bracelets, and that is like a silicone elastic, okay? And I'm gonna be showing you how to work with this guy here. This elastic, we're gonna be working on the wrong side, so it doesn't show on the front. And just put your hook through. This is jewelry elastic. You make bracelets with it, and you buy it on rolls. And so I'm going to bring it here and just make 2 knots. It opens really easy, okay, so be aware of that, and you can't miss stitches on the way, otherwise it just opens itself all the way. It happened to me many times. So put the hook through, pull it, and we're gonna make a little single crochet here, just to make sure this is not gonna open. Okay, and then we are going to jump through stitches, making slip stitches, okay? So slip stitch there, skip around 2, slip stitch. You can probably make one here, slip stitch, and make sure they are very tight. I hope you can see just because it's clear. Okay, and this is gonna give your piece a little bit of elasticity here just because of the denim, it's so thick, but here a lot more elasticity on the side, okay? So I'm going to keep, and make sure you keep a lot of, like enough stitches so it actually works. Always slip stitch. So repeat this. See, it's already elastic. So repeat this all around and on the bottom here until you get to this point to where you started, and then we're gonna make a row on the right side with this picot stitch at the end, just to cover this elastic. Actually it doesn't show on the front, and that's why we are working on the back. So I finished here, and I made a little knot with both ends again so it doesn't open, and that's what it does to your piece. It's actually really awesome, and it works as the same way as the other elastic. Okay, so now with that yarn we had left on the other side, we are going to make the last row on the front side, on the right side of your bikini. So, and also covering that elastic. Two in the middle and not making any on the top of this double crochet, just because it's a bit hard to go through the stitch, and then the picot stitch straight away after. One, two, three stitches and your picot. One, two on top of that chain, three here, and picot. So that way we also cover this elastic, which is pretty much like you can't really see it, you know, but it covers enough. So that's it, guys. See, it's really stretchy and nice.